word displeased in the Hebrew, ra, it means disaster. In other words, Jonah said, this is a disaster. Not just a little disaster. This is a great disaster that all these people repented. And then notice it says that he became angry. The idea here is not just one in which he was nonplussed. In fact, it means to burn white hot. So if we were kind of to put this in our own vernacular today, we would say that Jonah thought that this was a disaster and that he was seething, boiling, white hot about it. Now let me ask you a question this morning. Is that the kind of compassion that God wants for His people? Why was Jonah so angry? Because he doesn't like the way God is doing things. You ever been there? I'm happy to worship God when everything is going my way. I'm happy to sing His praises when I have plenty of money in the bank to pay my bills. Happy to sing His praises when my kids are healthy. But the minute something goes south, we get angry. And don't you even act like you haven't never been boiling white hot with God like Jonah was. He doesn't like the way God is doing things. He wants God to destroy Nineveh, but instead God grants them salvation. Jonah is angry with God's sovereignty. He's angry with the way God is calling the shots. He's angry that God has messed up his worldview. His whole theological world, everything that he believed about God is crumbling, and he's having a hard time coming to grips with it. What does Jonah's worldview consist of? It's the same for many of us. Here's what Jonah thought. Jonah thought that God shouldn't forgive evil people. And the Ninevites were about as evil as they come. Remember back in our first or second sermon, we talked about the brutality of the Ninevites and how much they were hated. Jonah came from this whole idea that strict justice requires people to